Technology is always ahead of legislation, but right now state leaders are trying to catch up with AI just to keep that technology trustworthy.
Yeah, they recently gathered to discuss future measures. Kermani, he has covered the Responsible AI Community Consortium for KSL.com, and we welcome him here. Thanks so much for joining us and walking us through all of this. Tell our viewers, how does Utah compare with other states when it comes to AI legislation and kind of the things that we're trying to do ahead of time?
So Utah is really unique in its approach with what they're doing. They're trying to balance policy with innovation. So instead of passing a number of laws that are restrictive and hinder the innovation, they're kind of trying to be more proactive in the way that they approach AI and future new technologies.
So it feels like they've set some guardrails here in the past, though. There was a couple of laws that Utah passed in regards to AI.
Yeah, so 2024, they passed the Utah AI bill, and it was the first in the nation, so that was kind of cool. And basically, what it aimed to do was it requires regulated occupations, such as healthcare professionals, to disclose whether they're using generative AI. It also makes it so that businesses are held accountable for AI-driven misconduct. And then it also opened up a learning laboratory. And what that does is it makes it so that, so if a company is wanting to use like a chatbot for mental health, typically the law says that they're required to have a medical license for that. And so that kind of hinders innovation. So this learning laboratory kind of gives them more freedom to be able to test those while the government has some oversight over it.
You definitely want that regulated, right? You want to be able to have an idea that you have some level of trust, that you're talking to someone who can give you good advice and not tell you something that could harm yourself, especially in those kind of situations.
Exactly. I think Utah is definitely leading the way in that sense, and it makes it safer for everyone, because I think they don't want it to get away from them like social media did, and how legislation has not been able to catch up with everything going on with social media.
Yeah, so those are huge. I mean, what you just said, as far as what Utah's doing or what they have done. We're months away from the legislative session. What bills do we have brewing there when it comes to AI? What can we look out for?
Yeah, so there's two bills that are coming in. One is companion AI, and that's AI where it's kind of evolving into a companion, a friend. You know, like it acts as your boyfriend, your girlfriend, and it's not just a chatbot anymore. It's like a human talking to you. And obviously there's going to be a lot of concern with that with minors. So they're looking to pass some laws regulating that. The next one is going to be deepfakes, and that's something that we've already been seeing across the nation. Last year, if you recall, during the New Hampshire primaries, there was a President Biden robocall going out using his voice telling people not to vote and to save it for the November election. So they're looking to obviously pass some regulations on deepfakes, because that's already a growing cause across the nation, not just in Utah.
I understand there's a conversation about AI in education as well.
That's right. So in education, this is where the innovation come in. They're looking to give schools resources and tools that they need to basically make students more prepared for the workforce in the future with AI technology. So students will be able to, hopefully when they get into the workforce, they'll have more knowledge about AI, which will help them get more jobs.
Kind of be ahead of the curve there then, right?
Always.
All right. Well, thank you for updating us on this part, Kermani. We appreciate the insight and looking forward to the legislative session.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.